Now, ever since the release of The Rise of Skywalker and its teaser trailer almost 3 weeks ago, a lot of people have been very puzzled over as to why we hear the laughter of Emperor Palpatine at the very end of the footage for Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker's teaser trailer. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, one great thing about this movie is that we do know that J.J. Abrams is using this film as a way in order to really tie it into the prequels and the originals and really treat it as a movie that's not just an ending to the sequel trilogy, but an ending to the past 8 Star Wars movies. Now, let's discuss Palpatine. A lot of people have been trying to figure out exactly what in the world is going on with Emperor Palpatine. You know, these past 6 to 7 months, we have only been hearing about leaks suggesting that he's coming back in the form of a hologram, dream sequences, or vision sequences, or anything around those lines. However, this is where things begin to get very intriguing, involving actor Matt Smith. Now, specifically, a description of a character design of what is described to be a new character in the film that will make its first appearance at the very end of the second act of the movie and will have a major role in the third act of the film. It's described that the character design is a male human in a black outfit with a long black cape, where the character is described to heavily resemble actor Matt Smith. The character design is said to be labeled as Palpatine's host. It's said that Matt Smith worked very close with Ian Mcdiarmid while filming during the months of October all the way until January of 2019, and that many of Smith's scenes involved him moving his lips to Ian McDiarmid's dialogue that was being shouted on set. The character design shows that the character is holding a new lightsaber design, where it appears gold in color and silver lines running down the middle, and is said to be a single-bladed lightsaber. It's said that Matt Smith's character has a massive connection with Emperor Palpatine in the film, and is described to be the very character that will provide saga-wide implications. It's described that Matt Smith also did many rehearsals with Ian McDiarmid to pick up his mannerisms from multiple scenes in the movie. So I really want to go over a couple of parts about this, because this, without a doubt, is probably the biggest hint and or indicator that Matt Smith is indeed playing a young version of Emperor Palpatine. Now, mind you, just yesterday we went over one of the descriptions of Rey discovering Palpatine's holocron, and in that holocron it's revealed by Palpatine himself to Rey that he found a way to eternal life. I want to go over the character design here, okay? This is where things begin to get very interesting. Now, the character design of this actual character being portrayed by Matt Smith in Episode 9 is actually labeled as Palpatine's host. So what in the world does that mean? Does that mean that something around the lines of Palpatine's energy, or Palpatine's essence, or consciousness, or maybe even Palpatine's spirit is going to be transferred over into Matt Smith's body? Or could it have something to do with cloning? Now, one thing I will say is the fact that this character is labeled as Palpatine's host and will be portrayed by Matt Smith, and the fact that Matt Smith did a lot of rehearsals with Ian McDiarmid in order to pick up Ian's mannerisms and to match his lips when he was actually talking with Ian McDiarmid's dialogue being shouted on set, it tells us that Ian McDiarmid's voice is going to be used alongside with Matt Smith's character. You guys may recall the rumors a couple of months ago about a young Palpatine being introduced in Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, and this by far is probably the biggest indicator of all time for the year of 2019 that we are indeed getting a young Palpatine with a twist behind it. It seems like that this is either A, a young version of Emperor Palpatine, or B, is just a random character that is going to be pretty much, taken over by Palpatine's consciousness, or maybe it's his spirit, or his energy, or his essence, whatever it's going to be in this movie. We do know that J.J. Abrams and Kathleen Kennedy even said, in response to people asking on whether or not the laughter of Palpatine will in fact live up to the hype, and even Kathleen Kennedy of all people said that yes, it will live up to the hype, don't you worry. And even J.J. Abrams said the same. So if it really is going to live up to the hype, guys, I gotta say that this is by far probably one of the most exciting ways to bring back Emperor Palpatine. Now, Would I rather have Ian McDiarmid himself returning as the Palpatine that we all know and love in the prequels and in the originals, like Palpatine in the flesh, like the iconic look of Palpatine? Absolutely. But it seems like that this is Disney's way of tapping into Dark Empire and introducing a new version of Emperor Palpatine. In fact, in the Dark Empire comic, we do get a young version of Palpatine where he appears far different than ever before, with short hair and a younger face and even somewhat of a muscular body. So with that being said, the fact that they are borrowing elements from the EU in order to do something very special, with Matt Smith's character being somewhat of a young Palpatine in Episode 9, and even Ian McDiarmid having a big role in this movie, at least as the voice of Palpatine, from what it seems so far at least. Guys, I gotta say, everything is sounding great so far, and it seems like JJ is going all out for this movie in order to create the greatest evil. Now, is this character the new villain that is labeled as the Dark Acolyte? Is it very possible? We'll have to wait and see. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon.